I don't believe that it's something that isn't mainstream, but it's just if you're in that type of industry and you're doing those type of things, you are aware of it because it's in real time. Now we're on a 6 to 7 second delay. We have to for the radio band, but it's all about doing what you love doing. Now I'm sure you've heard that before, but when I say hearts and minds, this specific show that I'm talking about, and I believe I worded it as well, how did I word it? I don't even know. Something along the effect of that's the key to understanding why and how we live in pain every day. Psychological pain, physical pain, you know. It's not all psychosomatic in my opinion. Now, I'm not a doctor, I'm not an educator, I'm not an influencer or anything like that. I'm a DJ and I host a radio show on a small satellite station, WGAT 88.6, right here in the great state of New Jersey. These are my thoughts. These are my feelings. These are the guests that we have on, what they have, what probative value they bring to the show, what they want to talk about. Maybe they haven't been seen, but I'm giving them a platform to be heard. Well, it's actually both, but you get the picture. You know, for me, I was told this week by somebody that I was dealing with during the week, and I had thought about this exact thing several times over the course of my life, but more prevalent now than ever before. And before I could belt it out, somebody else said it to me. And in passing, it was, you know what? They said it's easier to ask for forgiveness than it is to ask for permission. I'll say that one again. It's easier to ask for forgiveness than it is to ask for permission. What does that mean to you? I mean, I know, I already know what it means to me, but how do you feel about that? How do you determine what you should and shouldn't do? Is it based on what other people say? Is it based on others' actions? Is it based on your own actions? What exactly gets you to where you're going? How did you get where you are right now? Because if you're always looking back, you can't look forward. A silly analogy, but you get the point. So, to me, anyway, and you could type in the chat if you want, if you're watching on YouTube or if you're in Twitch or whatever the case may be. I'll open up the chat if you want to talk to me because I don't believe that we have the number engaged today for you to call in. We will change that, but like I said, we just set up not too long ago and we just moved. What's the best time to move in the entire year? Let's see. When it's the coldest, the craziest, right after the holidays, it's nuts and you can't do anything and there's storms and there's snow. Perfect. Let's move in January. Yeah, let's do that. So that's what we did. Obviously, it's not what was intended, but anyway, we're not too far from where we were. Same satellite signal. So being that there was so much going on with that, I didn't have a chance to hook everything up. But you can type in the chat if you would like to talk to me directly. You're not going to deal with a producer. You're not going to deal with an engineer or a sound person or someone vetting it. Keep it clean. If you want, you could type in the chat. I'd love to hear what you have to say because to me, asking for forgiveness rather than having to ask for permission means that you're just going to go and do your thing, whether you're at work or at school or whatever you're doing in your own particular life, every day, the balance that you have or don't have in your own life. Life is a balance. You've probably heard that one before. But I must say, to me, it's easier to just, and when I say easier, meaning that it's a lot quicker to just let me go and do what I think is right and what I believe is good for this person, that person, or myself. And then maybe I'll get reprimanded or told I can't do that or anything on the back end. That's to me, I'm going for mine. I'm doing my thing. And I'm not just talking about broadcasting or anything. I'm talking about just in everyday life, no matter what it is. You could be at the supermarket, whatever. Probably a bad example, but you are starting to understand my way of thinking. I'm going to go and I'm going to do and keep it within the parameters of what I decided they are, my limits in my life, where I draw the line in the sand about things or people or subjects, everyday life. We're all human beings, right? Some you got to worry about if they are, but you know what I mean. They just wait too long to do something, and we're all guilty of that. We've all done that. Well, we have regrets. Oh, I should have done this, or why did I do that? Or Living with regret is tough. I'm not immune to it. I do that as well. I've had that happen currently and in the past, and hopefully not in the future. That's the whole point. It's about talking it out. It's about talking to different people that might or might not come on this show, whether you see them, whether you hear them, whether they come on, whether they host, whether they're a guest, whatever it is. People have something to say. I'm giving you a platform and hundreds of thousands of people in the tri-state area to listen to what you have to say. Take that with a grain of salt, but take that opportunity. Seize the day, carpe diem. Seize the day. If I reach out to you, or some member of my team reaches out to you, whether it's through X, Twitter, whatever it is, Facebook, not too often, but through whatever it is, if I tap you, that means that I thought you were interesting. Some are male, some are female. There is no, preference. It's everybody. And I've had both on, and I talk to all sorts of different people, whether it's on my phone, whether it's through chat, whether it's through DMs, whatever the case may be. And I made a video about that for people to calm the hell down. Not everybody is trying to send you dick pics. Not every guy is trying to hit on a girl. Not every, person that's talking to a guy is trying to sell you something. It's not always like that. You could vet me all day long if you want. I am the real deal. I do have an FCC license. I have been a broadcaster, a DJ, an announcer, all sorts of stuff, voiceovers, everything for more than 25 years. I am the real deal. So when someone like myself, or I should just speak for me, taps you or sends you a message or something, you could politely decline, or you could talk, but don't feel afraid that something's going to happen and that there's some agenda or ulterior motive. Not everybody is like that. You have to trust somebody at some time. And I promise you, I keep everything professional. And I'm not saying that because I was called out on it. I'm saying because it's so frustrating, because there's interesting people, male and female, and sometimes they'll pass on it, or they're not sure, or they're asking other people. Check me out all day long. It is a show. It is a radio show. And we try to get the good, the bad, and the ugly out there, meaning subject. Sometimes it's a tough subject to tackle, and not everybody feels comfortable with that. I get it. That's okay. But the Mean Machine is a show, but it's also my doppelganger. It's my alter ego. But I don't use it for evil. I use it for good, to help people, to get things off their chest, to enforce, to have them not give up. My trials and tribulations, stuff that I've gone through in my life. I haven't gone through everything, but I've gone through a lot. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that want to tell their story, because this isn't about me. I host the show. This is your show. Meaning I'm just the driver. I'm the bus driver, and it will take I will take the show wherever you guys want it to go, for the most part. We have some parameters. What I don't do is I don't do politics, and I don't do religion. And that leads me to the next thing I was going to say. I realize that we're in 2024 and that it is a hot button topic, and it's very polarizing with all the politics and everything. And it's an election year and everything. Stop right there. If you want to talk politics or religion or Republican or Democrat or liberal or conservative, you've got the wrong show, sister. Okay. If you want that, there's plenty of people out there that want to listen to that and talk and argue. I don't argue for the sake of arguing. If I think I have a point about something, I'll try to get it across. Whether someone agrees with it or not, great. Half the time they do, and half the time maybe they don't. Some people don't like to say what's on their mind. Other people say too much. Whatever it is, I don't want to get sucked into that. So don't even try it, please, because there's friends that I have out there on both sides of the aisle, friends that are liberal and Democrat, friends that are red and conservative and Republican. Okay. I do not get involved with that because it is hot, but it's just too controversial. And I'm pretty proud. I got to say, I am pretty proud of the fact that I have towed the line, especially in an election year, that I have towed the line where I have followers and listeners and watchers and everything like that from both sides, because it's a show about life, about people, about situations, about the do's and don'ts of things that have happened to you, of things that have happened to me. Maybe I could give you some advice. Maybe there's a guest who is looking to get advice. Maybe there's a guest or co-host that wants to help you or listen to what you have to say, or let you know that you're not alone. You feel very isolated. This probably just happened to me, or I don't know anyone that this has happened to. This is crazy. This couldn't have happened to anyone. You'd be surprised. So that's where the show is. That's where I want it to go. That's the only thing that's off limits. Everything else I'm cool with. And you should be too. Don't lose friends over it. Don't not talk. There's so many interesting people and cool girls and cool guys and but that I want to talk to and that want to talk to me and everything. And then they're apprehensive. Some, not everyone. Like 90% is not, but there's always a percentage out there that they want to come on the show. And if I've tapped you, I'm not saying that I'm God's gift and I'm the president of the United States and I'm Howard Stern or I'm George Carlin or Casey Kasem. I mean, come on. I'm saying that to me, if you stuck out in my eyes for something that I want to hear, or I think you're funny, or I think you would be a good fit, or I think it would be good to, what do you want to talk about? What show? Accept the fact that that's a good thing. And I know what I'm doing and I'm good at it and I'm in my element. So if I ask you, hey, would you like to be on the show or something like that? Don't get nervous and don't think that it's not real or it's fake. Not everybody is out to get you. Some people just want to collaborate, have some fun. We'll have a few laughs. We'll be sarcastic. We'll poke fun at others and ourselves. And then we'll laugh. We'll cry. We'll do whatever it is that you want to do. It's inclusive of everybody. Everybody is welcome until they're not. That's up to you. But if someone like myself taps you to be unsure of something, respond. Let us know. Because you might only get that one chance. I'm not saying you can't go and do your own thing. Go ahead. That's fine. Nobody, I'm on other shows too. I get asked all the time. I decline most of the time because of time constraints, not because I wouldn't make an appearance or talk or do a voiceover. I do a lot of stuff for charity, and that'll lead into that in a minute. But keep in mind, not everybody's out to get you. So if someone comes in and says, "Oh, it's Gregory Joseph from the Meme Machine," and hey, I like your style, I like your stuff, it's real. It's really me. And if you're not sure, ask me specific questions that only I can answer because I'm not AI. Okay. I understand the use of AI, but for myself and the guests that I have and will have, real guests on camera, that is my future. That is what I've done. That's what I know. And that is where the show will be. So we'll sink and swim on the premise that it's going to be real people and not AI, any of that chat GPT, none of that crap. Not crap, but I'm sure it's good with certain things and it's very clunky and, they're trying to clone my voice and everything like that. You know what? I'm already well aware of this. It can be scary for people that don't know. But when I reach out to you, there'll be certain little indicators, little tells, if you will, that will let you know that it is really me who's trying to speak to you. So keep that in mind. If you're not sure if it's me or something like that, ask me something that only I would know. I'll be happy to tell you, and then we can move forward from there. We can move on. Because there's a lot of people that have asked to be on the show, and then there's others that are apprehensive. Like I said, not to be repetitive, but they're just not. Well, ask me, and you shall find out. Because I am the real deal, and I'm sure you are too. And I want to hear what you have to say. I want to know what you've gone through, how far you've come, what you're, what's holding you back on certain things. Like what's the story? How is your life going? Where do you wish you were? Where have you been? What are your thoughts and feelings on certain subjects? I love that because it's not just about me. I could sit here and tell you all the different stuff. Some shocking, some not, some boring maybe to you, and some very exhilarating and exciting. But I don't want to make it about me. I only open up the door. You guys, you're the one. It's all about you. Once again, it's easier to ask for forgiveness than it is to ask for permission. And that's how I roll, baby. I'm not going to sacrifice human input with electronic or AI or any of that kind of thing. I've thought about this. I've given this a lot of thought. It's in the premise. I mean, it's in the forefront of my mind in the premise of what will you do going forward? Hey, Greg, what will you do going forward? If they have this, is that scary? I have thoughts on different things. It's here to stay. So you're going to have to, and just like anything else that starts out good with a good idea or good thoughts are behind it. And there's always going to be people and things that abuse that. We already know this going in. Everything that humanity does, we screw it up at some point to a certain degree, to a certain extent, where you got to be very weary and be diligent in what you do, which you should do anyway in life. But that's just how I feel about that. I will not sacrifice human input. I want to connect naturally. They're trying to impersonate radio hosts and voices and and they're trying to pay me for it too, which is kind of weird, and when I read a script or I do something for LibriVox or for iTunes or or Amazon Audibles, through ACX, or anything that I do, whether I read a short story or a script for an author. Um, I have to be wary of that now because people they're buying your voice. You know, I think I have a good voice. People tell me I do all the time, but it's a specific voice that I have. I can't read scripts and parts for voice actor or anything else for someone that's got to have a higher voice. Or obviously, I'm stuck with what I have. That appeals to some and not to others. It's not always a direct fit. What that means is that you have to be yourself. Don't try to reinvent yourself. I've also mentioned this in past shows. Don't try to reinvent yourself online or be what you've never been before. People will see right through that. Be yourself. That's what makes you different, by not having to try to be someone else. Like I said before, some DJs make it look easy. I'm in awe. I mean, I don't think I'm the greatest in the world, even though I have years of experience. I see there's the little things that you see or don't see that, to me, someone that's in the business for as long as I have been, I'm like, wow, I'm blown away by some of these people. And some of them suck, but there's others, man, they're really good at what they do, and excellent content and the way it flows. They have the best editors and everything. I mean, they're really good. I'm a fan. I really am, because I know how difficult it is, especially in this day and age where everything is changing. Like it seems like every month is something different. Every year it's something different, or more extreme, or more advanced, or whatever you want to call it. One way or another, you're paying for it. Now, we're going to take a quick break, but when we get back, I'm going to explain, and I think I put this in Twitter, X, whatever you're calling it now, the part why I don't publicize. I don't make public or record if and when I give to charity or I'm helping someone out. I will not do that. I just won't. It's not for the reason that you might or might not think. I mean, maybe you think it's this or that, and I know people, I'm not going to mention any names, but you know who I'm talking about for the most part. A lot of people got famous doing that, and they have a ton of followers, and they're making a ton of, money because they're monetizing and everything. That's great. I'm happy for you. You should be doing the right thing, but that's not what motivates me. I will delve into it a little bit more, and I'll explain. I'll explain, because it's something that I wanted to get off my chest. Now, this happens all the time. It's been happening for years. And most recently in August, I remember, because it was in the summer. And this just happened yesterday as well. But I do not publicize it for specific reasons, morally, personally. And I will not do. I don't care how much money somebody wants to offer me to do it, or how much I think that the show will grow. I don't need viewership or subscribers, followers, advertisers, anyone that bad where I would do that. Never. I just won't. That's a decision that I made a long time ago. You got to try to understand, everybody's different. We're all individuals. Okay. And I see it as a way. It's not a means to an end. It's the fact that you have to, if you're going to be a certain way and you feel that you're doing the right thing and that's who you are, and you want people to know that, there's different ways to attain that. It's not greatness, it's morality, but it must be consistent. You have to, just like they say, you can't just talk the talk. You have to walk the walk. That's the way it works. That's the way that I grew up, and I truly believe in that. So if anyone stops me on the street, hey, Greg, hey, how you doing? Oh, you're the meme machine, what? And I sign it, or whatever it is that I do, I'm still that same person. I do not vary from that course. I'm the same way outside of the booth that I am when I'm in it. The same way when I'm on the air that when I'm not. Now, I might be a little bit quieter, if that's possible. But like I said, once again, it all reverts back to, it's easier to ask for forgiveness than it is to ask for permission. Go for yours. Do what you have to do. You're never going to be this age ever again. You're never going to be this young ever again. And you're not going to be this old ever again. See the disparity? It is, but it isn't. In other words, yes, we could all say that life is short, and we know it. And the most intriguing thing, I guess, for use of a better word, is that we don't know when it's going to end. So don't concentrate on what you can't control or what you don't know. Concentrate on what you do know, what you can do now. Forget about what you did before. You want to build on that? Great. If you want to get away with it or get away from it because it wasn't what you wanted, fantastic. Use the time now, because this time in the present quickly turns into the past. Don't have regrets. Don't live with it, and don't die with it. Do the now, because the now will become then. And you want to be able to look back when you do and say, you know what, I get of it. Everything I had, I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of my family. I'm proud of my friends or my kids or my husband, my wife, of what I did for this person or what this person did for me, how I paid it forward. Did you do it for a certain reason? Did you do it for selfish reasons? Did you do it for that person? Did you want to do both? Because I'll tell you right now, right before we go to break, I won't lie to you. That's one thing I will not do. I will not lie to my audience. I sometimes, or more than not, will do something that makes me feel good to do. And it's also the right thing to do. It's a good thing for that particular person or whoever it is, or charity or whoever, a guy on the street. Did I do it just to help him, but it made me feel good? I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet. Maybe someone can tell me that. I don't know. But the first thing in my head is, this will make me feel really good to do. Sometimes, whatever motivates you, to do the right thing. If you have to think about it that much, well, that's a problem, don't you think? Do what makes you feel good. But you know what? Who cares on the premise of why you did something, why you didn't? Just do the right thing. It'll all shake down. It all comes out in the wash, so to speak. All right, so we're going to go and take a break. I'm going to dig in deeper and tell you about who we're going to have in the future, what subjects, to the people that I've asked or the people that I've tapped, the people that have said yes, and the people that not yet, and they're still compiling themselves, and because it's not easy for everyone to do, and I get that, and that's fine. I'm not angry with that at all. I can associate with that. I can empathize and sympathize all at the same time. It's a new year. Have a new thought. Forget about, I'm going to lose weight and I'm going to do this. And forget about talking about it. Just do it. Stop doing it and writing it on here, whatever. If that's what works for you, fine. But if it doesn't, switch it up, baby, because it's not working for you. Get to the promised land whichever way you can. Set your own goals. I told you in a show a while ago that I don't have these, I have all intermediate and short-term goals. I can't have a goal for 20 years from now. I don't know what the hell I had for dinner yesterday. I'm going to know what I'm going to be doing. You know what? So if I get those little ones out of the way, well, I did this and here's my weekly goal or whatever, but I'm not expending too much thought on it. I could attain those goals, and now I have momentum. Well, I hit these little ones, and now those became intermediate ones, and that will build into the future one. Instead of saying, it's 15 years from now, I'm going to be on a Wheaties box. Who gives a shit? I'm talking about the now, not what you didn't do before, not what might happen later. If you become your future, you're doing it now. That's how it works. All right, people? Remember, I said that. So I'm going to go over that. Going to dig a little bit deeper into the AI thing. And also, I've been asked about this several times, and I'm going to tell you about the Ada Turturro debacle that we had. That's right, the girl that plays Janice Soprano. I did speak with her a couple times. And I'll let you know what happened with that, because I wanted to bring you that interview like right around Christmas, maybe, like a little bit before that, maybe even to start the new year. There's specific reasons why I was unable to do that. I cannot air it. And I'll get into that in a little bit. But like I said, if you have a passion project out there, a labor of love, if it's something that you love doing, why would you wait? What are you waiting for? Are you going to be less busy? Are you not going to love it as much? Bullshit. Of course you are. Stop making excuses and just do it. Don't worry about what he said, she said. You've heard this before, but I'm telling you from experience, you cannot wait. Remember, I'm going to keep pounding this home. Okay? I'm going to keep pounding home. All right? It's easier to ask for forgiveness than it is to ask for permission. Worry about the other stuff later. Don't sweat that stuff now. They say don't sweat the small stuff. I don't sweat any stuff anymore. Just kind of fly by the seat of my pants. But that's what works for me. Maybe that doesn't work for you. I don't know. Talk it out. We'll figure it out. If we have to figure out you know what I mean? Then we could do that together if you want. That's fine. Because sometimes I need help. I don't know what the hell's going on. When I hear someone say it, or they tell me, or they reinforce to help drive that point home. Once again, like I just said, take your own path to the promised land. It's not set in stone. You'll be happier if you did. If you're listening to New Jersey 88.6 WGAT from the great state of New Jersey, you are watching the Mean Machine Radio Show on your Sunday, January 21st, 2024. First one of the year. We're glad you're with us. We're glad you're watching. We're glad you're listening. And we'll be right back, so don't go anywhere. Got a lot of good stuff. I have a lot of thoughts that are coming up in my head there. They get jumbled around, you know. But they're there. I promise you they're there. We'll get to them. Be right back. And it's fun. You know, you're going to recognize some of the songs. Their rendition of it, it's really cool on some of them. I was listening. They have some of this stuff on YouTube. So that's them right there. So it's 5-Wheel Drive Band, NewJersey.com. All right. You see it right there. And I'll get the updated list of where their next tour dates are going to be and all that stuff. And I apologize, Jennifer. I haven't been out there yet, but one of these days I'm going to get out there and it's going to be great because like I said, I've heard them. I've just never seen them live or heard them live. So check them out. If you're in the New York, New Jersey area and you want to go and see them, I'll get an updated list and I'll put it on my Twitter and a few other things. I'll even make I'll do a couple of air spots about it because it's not just that she's a friend and that I know her. They're actually good. You know, they're not crappy. They're good. So check them out. Go to their website. There'll be more information, I'm assuming, on there. I haven't looked today, but I'm sure it's all updated and everything. 5-Wheel Drive. So it's www.5wheeldrivebandnewjersey, all one word, .com. So check them out when you get a chance. It'll be a nice night out for everybody. I wish I had that kind of time. I'm getting older, man. I fall asleep. So, yeah. If it wasn't for getting old wouldn't be so bad, huh? All right, so welcome back to the Mean Machine. It's a show. I don't know if you would call it a variety show. I guess some people might call it that. You know, we used to do movies and music and sports and everything. We talk about that. It seems like it's a saturated thing. Can I talk about all those things? Is it popular? Of course it is. Music mostly. whenever we've done a poll, sports is up there as well. We did trivia. I have a wheel that I spin and all these different things that I did. But it's not that I don't want to do that. And I miss it in a little bit. But there's so many more important things to talk about that people need to. I mean, sports are great and everything is wonderful with that. And I agree. And I did that for years. I used to work for WQAM down in Cooper City, down, in Miami. With Miami Dolphins stuff and Florida Panthers stuff, Miami Heat and everything. That was years ago. And I enjoyed it. It was fun. I worked my way up the ranks. I did mobile DJing. I did clubs. I did voiceovers, cartoon voices, and commercials and everything. And I still do that from time to time. I haven't had a whole lot of time because I'm trying to do my own thing here. And I got to tell you, just to reiterate for those that didn't hear this before, or, if you're watching on YouTube or listening, by the way, it's Mean Machine 973 at outlook.com. If you want to drop us a line, that's that's the best way to, if you want to send an email, if you want to be on the show, you have some thoughts or ideas, or, you just would like to drop us a line. We get people like that all the time. They're looking for a little help with this or that. They have some information. They're requesting information either about myself or about the show or about just, different topics and things like that. There's no judgment. There is no wrong question. If I can answer it, I will. If it's something that is generally mainstream type of thing, I'll give you my own spin on what it is. But it'll be from me, not what I think you want to hear, but what I believe that is my answer. It's not always the right one, but I can guarantee that it'll be mine and mine only. So it's at Gregory Joseph 70. That's our Twitter handle or X handle, whatever you want to call it, at Gregory Joseph 70. Yes, that is my name. So you can find us on there. We're on Instagram. We're on TikTok. We post a lot of funny stuff, but mostly we just drive traffic to our YouTube. We're on Spotify, the Mean Machine Radio Show. And, of course, it's under podcasts, under Amazon Music. And about 48 hours after we air an episode, one that you could see and hear, you'll see all the ones that we do episodes on. That'll be on iHeartRadio within 48 hours from, when it ends. For the most part, sometimes it takes 2 or 3 days, but the audio part where you're not actually seeing all the times that I'm on the air, because we don't air them all, we don't stream all of them. That stuff is on Spotify, and it's also on iHeart. So if you want to check us out on there, we appreciate it. Got a lot of new followers, a lot of subscribers came out of the woodwork and everything, and I appreciate it. Thank you to each and every one of you, because that means a lot to me. And the reason I do it is not, do we all want to be monetized? Of course we do. We already are on Twitch and Instagram and Facebook and that kind of thing. Not on TikTok so much. It's not really my thing, but I'll post some stuff from time to time, just some funny things or some thought-provoking things. Sometimes it's words of wisdom. Sometimes it's just, like life stuff, life lessons or truth or, that kind of thing. Sometimes it's just funny, crazy shit. I mean, it all depends on what mood I'm in, what I feel is the right thing at that point in time. And it's all good. That's the way I see it. I'd like to not be labeled, as you can see from that little parental advisory that I just put up there. I don't like labels. Okay? I want to be able to carry myself in a variety of ways, in vast area, wider audience, because you're not just hitting on one thing. And now a lot of people are against that. They're like, oh, well, no, you got to stick with one niche. Well, my niche is that I don't really have one. I don't know if that helps or hurts me, but things change from time to time. If you want to talk about something like domestic violence or alcoholism, or, whatever the case may be, or trying to get better at this, or I'm in student loans or killing me and I'm in debt and, just life stuff, whatever it is, marriage, I don't know. I'm not going to say, no, we're not going to talk about that because we're talking about the Yankees today. I mean, that's ridiculous. You know what I mean? It's not a sports show. It is a humanitarian type of show, I guess, if you must label it. I want to hear what happy people say. So when they're genuine, it's not AI, it's none of that stuff. It's real people talking about real life. To me, the nonfiction, the reality of that, the reality, I should say, of it. But that to me is way more thought-provoking. It's way more genuine. It's real. That's what people want. They want to connect with people that they know or themselves. That is how you build your audience. And I love that because you can't screw up stuff and try to lie, or I'm not clever enough to remember with it. Just be yourself about stuff that really happened, and you will help people and yourself. It's a win-win. What's so bad about that? You know, that's just the way I see it. You know, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm not. My show, my rules, that's what I do. But once again, you have to understand that it's not just a passion project. It is a labor of love for me. This is what I love doing. I love announcing. I love broadcasting. I love being a DJ. It's what I was meant to do from a young boy, you know, when I was a little kid, and throughout my entire adult life as well. I took a long sabbatical, 11 years, and now I've been back for about 10 months doing it. And you know what? It keeps getting better and better. We grew from like 20-something. I think we had like 22 or 23 subscribers on YouTube. I wasn't really messing around with it too much. Now, this might not seem like a lot to other people that have hundreds of thousands or whatever it is, or millions, but, you know, we have over 1,500 now. And we have over 100 videos that were put on there between shorts and reels and little cuts that I made and, you know, different things, all content that is original. So whether I'm in my home studio or if I'm reading scripts or doing dialogue from when I go into New York City, and I do sometimes I work out of the studio there. It depends on what it is. I don't go in there too much. WGAT, I'm able to do it through satellite right through my home studio, so I don't have to go somewhere. It is satellite radio. It's internet radio. That's where we're at in 2024. We have been. In case that didn't make sense to some people, I don't go, you know, to a DJ booth like I used to into a radio station. I have the setup for that. And now a lot of that even became more prevalent once COVID hit a few years ago, and a lot of DJs weren't going in. They were having to broadcast from home, and they had the satellite hookups, and they had this, and they had that, and this, and that. You know, things are changing. They're evolving. And I kind of entered into that zone as that was happening in real time. And I like it. I love it. So keep that in mind, that there'll be different subjects. Now, when we have a specific guest that's talking about a specific topic, of course, we're going to stay on point for that day. Right now, I don't have anyone today. That was the way it was supposed to be, because I'm, you know, saying hello for the new year. Our first episode of the new year. It has to be me. It's the meme machine, baby. Here I am in the flesh. 88.6 WGAT on your Sunday afternoon. And thank you for being with, for those that are now. Let me tell you something on iHeart, and especially on Spotify, but just the radio band throughout. We have grown so quickly by leaps and bounds. No kidding. This is no bullshit. I am so proud of that. With limited resources, with everything that we had going on, and the new people we have, and I keep needing even more, you know, whether I'm reaching out to them or they're reaching out to me, and we're gaining people little by little, not clumps of 50, 100 something people a day, maybe 2 or 3 people a day, some new listeners here and there, you know, sprinkled in here and there. I love that. 1 subscriber at a time, 1 listener at a time, 1 viewer at a time. I'm looking for long-term, not go viral and make a big splash and then you die out like, you know, a candle in the wind, so to speak. No, that is not my goal. My goal is to be monetized on YouTube so that we could give that to charity. I made that promise to God a long time ago. And I said, please, if you can just guide me into the same place that I was, but all of a sudden everything is brand new and everything. I know I can do that because I've done it before, but a lot of this stuff is new to me. God has my back. And for that, as soon as we're out of the red, because a lot of that money came out of my own pocket, all of it did, you know, I made a promise, and I will keep that promise. So subscribe, watch our content if that's what you. Now, I want people that are engaged. I'd rather have 1,000 people that watch our stuff than 10,000 people that just subscribe just for the hell of subscribing, and they're not watching it, they're not enjoying it, they're not partaking in it. Who wants that? I don't see it that way. I'd rather have people engaged in that. And wow, I didn't know that this person, wow, this lady was really, really brave. We've had a woman like that on, and we've had several. We've had nurses. We've had people that were, you know, like I said, people of domestic violence and different things and suicide. Well, obviously, we haven't had anyone on here that committed suicide. That would be difficult to do. But you get the picture. It's not something to joke about. There's a lot of real life problems and the depressing stuff, and people that are over medicated, and the fentanyl stuff that's going on, and people that are dying, and kids, and and just the crap that's going on in the schools and the shootings. And there's never, unfortunately, I should say, there is never a time where that seems like everything ceases and there's peace. You know what I mean? There's always something. One head goes down like whack-a-mole. You bang one head down, another one pops up with something else, some kind of tragedy or some kind of scandal or some type of disease or what's going on with this or stuff that's happening, people that have mental health issues and need guidance. And, and that's why I do what I do. Maybe I could touch on a few people out of thousands. And to me, that means, going back to what I said before, that means that I did what I could do to try to help. For that small window in time, I was a human being and I listened and I gave my opinion. And I gave my reassurance that those people are important, and you are important, whether you think so or not. And I try to be very, I wouldn't say uplifting. That's not really, I mean, I'm not a priest or a pastor or something like that. I'm not preaching to the choir, so to speak. I'm letting you know that as I change, I let people know, and maybe you're evolving just like I am. I don't think I'm better than anyone else because I host a show. I don't think that. I have a lot of experience to do what I'm doing. That doesn't mean that I'm better. In a lot of ways, I'm just lucky. And I've decided rather than keeping it bottled in, maybe that will help guide some people out there. Don't make the same mistakes that I made. Or follow this particular path. This is what worked for me. Maybe it'll work for you. Stuff like that. That's all I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? That everybody could use a little humanity, a little bit of, not so much attaboy, but, just let's hear your story. What did you go through? How did you get through it? How can you help this lady that just called in? How can you help this guy that just lost his wife, just died now? He's a widower. There's so many different things that you can help people or listen to their story, make yourself feel better or allow them, I should say, to feel better. And your head hits the pillow that night, you know that you did something good for someone else. Your time is something that you can never get back. That's why I always thank people for their time. You will never get that point in time back ever again. So thank them for it. It's the truth. It's the absolute truth. I got it like this little turtleneck thing. I've never been a big fan of it. It's warm because it's cold as hell in here. Like I said earlier, it's like planet friggin' Hoth outside. But it's annoying the crap out of me. In any event, I did mention that one of the reasons why I wanted to do the show, one of the topics I should say rather, about that hearts and minds type of thing. So the reason why, here it is, the reason why I do not promote nor do I publicize when I give to charity, whether it's online, whether it's in person, whether it's in items or physical, tangible things or money or advice, whatever it is. I don't publicize that to get ratings and do that. I know that some people have done very well doing that. I will not do that. Never. And I'll tell you why. Here's a perfect example. Why even speculate? I'll tell you. So this was back in August. Here we have Quick Check. That's one of the, we have Wawa and Quick Check and places like that, like convenience stores, 7-Eleven, that kind of thing. So I pulled up right here in Jersey, and I'm sure a lot of people this has happened to, where there's people outside, whether it's hot or cold or whatever's going on, and they're not bums, you know what I mean? They're not. They're down on their luck people, and I know that this is a subject that's, of course, controversial because some of these people are doing really well and they're lying to you, and then there's other people that are not, and you're going to catch diseases and you're going to stop. They're human beings. Guy was sitting there, he had a beard and everything. He was sitting, not on a chair or anything. He was just slumped a little bit to the right of the front door of Quick Check, of the place we were in. Let me lower that. So I came out of the store, and I don't know. I saw him. If I saw one of the, those type of people, I shouldn't even say type of people, that person particular, I would say hello, or hey, how are you, sir, or how are you, ma'am, or just try to be cordial, try to be nice. There's no reason not to. Once again, you might be pulling up in a Mercedes with a 3-piece suit on and diamond rings and a fur coat and everything. That doesn't make you better than them. Sometimes it was the luck of the draw. Sometimes it was deep desire and hard work. I'm not going to take away from people that do that, but not everybody has that kind of drive. Not everybody is that lucky. Not everybody, maybe they worked real hard and they had a personal tragedy or they got screwed over. You don't know. You cannot label these people. They're all bums and they're all this and stay away from me. And the people that wash your cars. You know, I'm not going to lie to you. And I will say this to everybody that's listening. I've been one of those people going like, just get away from me. And they make you uncomfortable. And it does. It makes people uncomfortable. I'm not saying I'm going to start giving out money like Santa Claus and everything either. I do what I can when I can. So I saw this guy sitting there. It was really hot that day. Like I said, it was like, I think it was the middle of August. And it gets hot here in Jersey, big time in the summer. And he didn't ask me for money. He was just, I remember I'm sitting in my car. I got the air on in my car. I'm parked rather close to where he is. And I don't know what it was. It's not like I've never seen people like that before that are down on their luck or you know, homeless or whatever the case may be. But I don't know what it was. Now, I don't always have cash on me. In this day and age, everything is done by cards or electronically or whatever. I think I had, I know I had $5. It's been in my wallet for forever. I had a $5 bill, like my rainy day $5 bill. What the hell are you going to do with a $5 anyway? But still. I remember he was looking in his wallet and there was like pieces of paper or something. I could see him from where I was sitting. I'm sitting with the air conditioning on in my car. This guy's sweating his ass off out and he's just sitting there. And people are walking. He wasn't a huge guy or anything, but they're walking over him like he wasn't even there. I've seen that before too. And I don't know what it was about this one particular guy, but I only have $5. But it was $5 more than what he had. So I'm struggling. I'm sitting in my car struggling. What do I do here? What do I say to this guy? How am I going to make him feel better, not just handing him? I don't know what to do. But I knew how to do something. I've done it before, and there's other times where I didn't have anything, and I felt bad, and I had to drive away. But so I opened the car door. I get out of the car. I took the $5 out of my wallet. And I walked over to him. He didn't even see me walking over to him. He just, I don't know if he was crying. I don't know what he was doing. He didn't look good, though. And I remember him just, there was nothing. I know that feeling. You open up your wallet, there's nothing in there but moths and lint and shit like that, you know, and not what you need, not what you would want in a wallet, apparently. And I walked over to him. He didn't ask me. And I said, here you go, sir. And he just kind of looked at me, like not puzzled, but he was surprised, but he wasn't. And I said, here you go. I said, that's all I have on me cash wise. I hope this helps. And he said, he was reluctant, but to even take it. And then he said, thank you. This is not some story where you're waiting for a punchline or some great, act of God to have happened. No, it was that simple. It made me feel good to do it. Like going back to what I said before. So yeah, did I feel good by doing it? Yeah. I needed that $5. I didn't have any money to tip the other person that I was going to, the car wash or wherever I was going. But I know damn well that I didn't need it as bad as that guy did. Now, if I had $1,000 on me and I gave him a $5, that doesn't seem like much. But if I only had 10, or that was my only $5 and I gave him $5, then that was a lot. So you can't go by what you're giving. You're going by, it's more or less what you can do. What you're comfortable doing, what you're able to do. That's how way I see it. That's my opinion. That's my thought process. Who needs this more, me or him? He does. Will I ever get it back? No, I don't care. I don't care if it was a 50 or 100 or 10,000. It doesn't. That's not the point. I could have recorded. Now, people are watching me from their other cars. They're sitting on whether they're feeling guilty or not. I'm sure some do and some don't, and some are just predisposed to just ignoring these people like they're not even there, like they're furniture or a garbage can. I don't feel that way. I've never felt that way. I've watched my son give money to someone, not because I told him to, but because he was taught that is a possibility. It's a human thing. It's a Christian thing. Do it. It'll make him feel better. It'll make you feel better. It's a win-win. And I didn't do it to make myself better, but I thought about that guy for whatever reason. It reminded me of another story that I had said on the air probably close to a year ago, where we had seen this old guy outside of it. It was a Pathmark back there here in Jersey. It was up in Morris County this time. And I remember he was a guy that was outside, and I my son was with me, and we walked outside, and he was still there. And we've seen him before. I think we've given him a couple bucks here and there, nothing too crazy. And I just remembered this man. I don't know his name. I don't remember. I gave him a few bucks. He said, thank you. I said, are you going to be all right? Which is not something I've ever said. And the response that I got sticks with me to this day. Then that response was, he said, when I said, are you going to be okay? He looked at the money and he looked at me and he said, I hope so. I don't know. It was just the way he said it. It made me sad. I was almost close to tears. Why? I've given money to people before in New York City and in Florida and in New Jersey and different places in California. Any place that I was, I've always done that. I was out in Arizona last year. I gave an aspiring artist, whether he was or not. It could have been bullshit. He probably wanted a six-pack. I wanted to help the guy, so I did. I'll never see him again. Doesn't matter. I know that I did, and that's good enough sometimes. I don't remember every time, but I didn't film it. I didn't record it. People are very quick to grab their phone. And, I could get people seeing acts of kindness, and I could put it on my YouTube. And nope, I will not do it. They're human beings. I'm not going to exploit, and that is the perfect word. I am not going to exploit another human being, whether they have money in the bank or not, whether they have a car or not, whether they have nice clothes or not, whether they are a parent or not, whether they've done shitty stuff in their life or not. Greg, I will not do that for ratings, for money, for accolades, followers, subscribers. I won't do it. I will not do that. I know others do, and I'm not telling them that they're bad people by doing it, but that's just not me. So that is the reason why it was that one guy, after all the people that I've given money to over the years, when I could, it stuck with me. Are you going to be all right? I hope so. Because he genuinely meant that. He didn't know. We didn't know. And he hoped so. I found out at the time, we found out it was not even 2 months later, the man died. I don't know what from. I have no idea. I hope he's in heaven somewhere. And I didn't know it at the time. And that's what made it so poignant. He didn't know if he was going to be okay, and he wasn't going to be. And he wasn't, and he didn't, and he passed. And that was his time, I guess. It stuck with me. Good stuff sticks with me, as I'm sure it does with you guys out there as well. And the bad stuff does too. Am I making up for bad things that I've done in my life? Maybe. Maybe I am. But when I've done bad things in my life, unfortunately, I knew at the time prior to doing that bad act or whatever it was, whether I hurt something or someone or whoever it was, inadvertently or not, I knew going in that it wasn't the right thing to do. I was of sound mind and body. Maybe I was freaking out. I was really pissed. I had a short fuse back then, all that kind of stuff. I was drinking, those kind of things. But I knew that it was wrong, and I did it anyway. That's what makes it twice as bad in my mind. For me. I'm saying for me. Maybe people out there, maybe you understand what I'm talking about. Maybe you get what I'm saying. Maybe you've felt the same way. I don't know. I know I did. So am I making up for bad things? I wouldn't say I'm making up for it. I'm just wishing that I'm trying to replace a bad act with a good one. It's like being Catholic, which I am. It's like an act of contrition. When they say an act of contrition. But I don't think of it that way all the time. Sometimes it just feels good to do something nice for someone that needs it. And sometimes feeling good is good enough. Sometimes feeling good is good enough. I think that this world could use more of that. And I'm not a bleeding heart liberal or anything. Believe me, I am far from that. But I am a human being. And I guess I've changed over the years. Maybe it's because I'm older and wiser. I don't know. Maybe I've always had it inside of me, just like a lot of you have inside of you. And you're finally doing something about it before it's too late. I don't know if I'm going to be looked upon favorably one day when it's my time. I sure hope so. Just like that guy said, I hope so. See the connection? So don't wait. You want to do something nice for someone? Maybe you don't have money. Like there was a time I didn't have money, but it was a summer day or whatever, and I had a case of water in the back, and I like the little mini ones, and I gave a whole bunch. And I said, I'm sorry they're not that cold or whatever. Or I bought soup for people. I've given a lot of stuff, and most recently too, I gave away a ton of stuff to Goodwill. It's just stuff. I can always get more stuff. It's not that important to me, but it's important to them because it wasn't stuff that they wanted. It was stuff that they needed. Kind of person, remember? If you're going to talk the talk, you got to walk the walk. Well, I did, or I try to. I have. It's time to make up for those bad acts and replace them with good ones going forward. You can't go back and take that away, but you sure can do something about going forward and doing it now. That's all I'm saying. And I'm sure most of you, if not everyone, knows what I'm talking about. But it still feels good to say. It feels good to connect with people because I know you feel the same way. A lot of people do feel the way that I do. So I won't record it, and I will give at least 50% of everything that we get monetized with to charity. I have two in mind, American Cancer Society and the National Diabetes Association. Those are just two that I picked. They're all good. St. Jude's is a good one. The ASPCA is another good one. We do love animals. There's so many good causes out there. Do it for yourself. Do it for them. Whatever you have to do that gets you through the day of why you did what you did, just do it. Worry about the optics of it. If you want to call it that, worry about the optics of it later. Don't worry about that. I'd like to think that I did everything I could do on that particular day. And when my head hits the pillow tonight or any night, any subsequent nights in the future that I know, that might be the last thing I think of, because it's not guaranteed I'm going to wake up the next day. And I know that that's a little extreme. Every day above ground is a good day and blah, blah, blah. We've all heard that. Do I think about stuff like that? I sure do. But tomorrow is not guaranteed to anyone. So why wait? Why would you wait? The Ada Turturro debacle. So I spoke to her, reached out, even paid a little fee for an appearance thing. Not that she's an A-list or anything anymore. I'm sure she's very nice. There's a lot of BS that was behind the scenes with it, and I can't air it, and then it wasn't right, and then I think they wanted more money, and then it started to raise a red flag on why is this, then you have people that are trying to impersonate them, and you get those stupid men, and you got to know what to look for on that, by the way. I could tell you, I'm going to say that for another show. But it kind of sucks. For those that don't know who she is, she's been on Law and Order. She's been in a few movies. She's not some big A-list or whatever. She's obviously most famously played Janice Soprano in The Sopranos, the show on HBO from back in the day, which, by the way, they just hit it's the 25th anniversary of when that show started. I can't believe it's been that long. I think the last show was in 2007, I want to say, 2008, 7, something like that. It started out in, I believe it was 99. Anyway. If I can bring that, I will give him that interview. Like I said, there's a lot of red tape that I have to go through. And there's other people that I want to speak to. But like I said, real people and everything, everyday people. There's nothing wrong with that. That is the best way to do things. It's to be able to, just be able to talk to everyone that I possibly can talk to. That's, I don't know. It's hard to distinguish on the different things that people have to go. Look at this. I want to offer a promotion of your channel. See what I mean? Right as I'm talking to you, Shameless Lifeboat 2. Hello. Sorry for bothering you. I want to offer promotion of your channel, viewers, followers, chat bots, etc. The price is lower than any competitor. The quality is guaranteed to be the best. Flexible and convenient order management panel. Right in the middle of a show. So already I don't like them. Bug me. I get emails like that. I'm sure a lot of people that do stuff online, or you do stuff like maybe that Spaces thing on Twitter, or you do stuff on Instagram, or even have maybe you don't do a show like I do, or what, something like that. Maybe you do your own podcast. I mean, whatever it is, these things are so annoying. I got one for, obviously they're not watching a damn thing or listening to me, because you get these things and it's probably AI generated. I get that. It's not a real person. When was the last time you actually spoke to a real person that wasn't in person? It's like Men in Black out there. I know that a lot of you are charged up and excited and really fired up about this AI thing and the chat GPT. And it will help you with it. I don't know how to approach it. I'm not going to lie to you once again. I'm not 100% sold on how that's going to work for me. We have it at my regular job, obviously. DJs and people and doing work for the small satellite radio that I do. Obviously, I need a regular job during the week. It's not enough to pay the bills. But even during that time, during the week, it's not... they're using it and they're implementing it slowly as they roll out different things, and I'm not sure. Maybe I'm too old for that crap. I don't know. I mean, it's here to stay, obviously, and it's a little clunky now because there's no empathy in their voice or anything. You could tell when it's not a real person. That's why they want to record me so bad, and I got to be really picky and I'm very cynical, very skeptical, I should say, about who I do voiceovers for or read a script for and everything. They might be just trying to steal my voice. Can you imagine? Now, we don't have enough shit to worry about. Not got to worry about someone cloning me. There is only one meme machine, baby. All right? Rock on. Because there will never be another you or another me. And I hate the fact, you'll live forever. I don't want to live forever. I'm not Zeus. What am I, a Greek god? You're not supposed to. Your soul does, not your voice. Anyway, we're going to have to take another break in a few, but I just want to belt that out. So, to recap, a little review of what I said. I understand that some people have those type of, like I said, it's a labor of love. It's a passion project or whatever you want to call it. You know what? That's fine. Do what you do. Now, I'm going to have other guests on, and I really hope that a lot of them will be watching or listening at some point. And I'm going to have this one girl. I'm not going to mention her name. She is perfect to give back and forth banter. There's actually a few people that I would like to try out as a co-host, as a guest, and in both probably, because the show, I wouldn't say is lacking that, but it would definitely enhance it, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Yeah, okay, you have a voice and you're a DJ and you can do this, blah, 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 and great. But sometimes you need a little bit more than that. And it's to be able to captivate people. And a back and forth, I think, would be really good. And it would bring something that we don't have yet, but we're close to that. So I hope this one particular person who I tapped to possibly help me out with that, I hope that they accept it. There's a few people. As far as guests are concerned, like I said, we're lining them up. A lot of people, I don't know why, if it's weird, if they don't understand that there's different time zones in the United States, or what the hell what is your problem? I tell someone, they get back to you like 6 weeks later, like, oh yeah, when can I go on? Are you serious? You really think I could count on you? And if you're not looking at your stuff or your DMs or your emails or whatever it is, if it takes you that long to respond, do you think I want you at this point now? You can't even follow a basic premise of getting back to someone and being polite or not being rude. No, it's not for me. Or I'm excited. Most people are like, oh, that's very flattered and I'm excited and this and that and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? I'm not saying everybody's got to be all, like I said, all charged up, for use of a better word about it, but goodness gracious, you know what I mean? Like, why can't you understand that, people have a schedule to meet? Not that they don't understand. Maybe they just don't care. I don't know what it is. It's difficult because you're trying to build something and not everybody's always on the same page. I said this last time. A lot of people will be nice and I'll subscribe just because they feel like they should, or they like you, or whatever the case is. But they're not really interested. They're just being nice, but they don't want to say, nah, this isn't for me or whatever. I don't want those type of people. No offense. I want the people that want to be part of what we're doing. Okay? To be engaged in it. I'd rather have 1,000 or 2,000, whatever, people that watch our content on YouTube or listen to us on Spotify or Twitch or whatever it is, or iHeartRadio, or just regular, if you're in the New York, New Jersey area, listening to WGAT. I'd rather have people that want to be there, not that have to be told, like I got to drag them in. Nobody should do that. So it's not all about subscribers. It's about people that want to be part of the show, want to listen, maybe get some value out of it, maybe have some laughs, a little bit of sarcasm. Help a few people, listen to their story, go to bed that night going, wow, that was pretty good. I like that show, or I like Greg. He's a good host, or I'd like to be a co-host, or I'd like to be a guest, or I know somebody. Even more importantly, might not be you, but my sister would love to go on there and talk about domestic violence, or this person is a doctor and would love to talk about mental health issues, or whatever the case may be. I would love to be, if I could set a platform, because sometimes it's hard to have your own thing and then talk about yourself. I don't really like talking about myself. I know that that's funny. Some people might like, but I really don't. I just would rather be like the steamboat. You know what I mean? Just going nice and slow, looking for the long term, hearts and minds. They have to be with you. You're not going to change anyone's mind. Remember, I said this. All right? You're never, ever in life going to change somebody's mind. The way I see it, you present your case or you do your thing and you're being genuine and you have your heart, your heart, mind, and soul in something. And people didn't know that to begin with, or maybe they were predisposed to not believing you and they thought you had an agenda. Then maybe they would change their mind. You cannot change. I know it's all semantics, like it's the wording, but listen to what I'm saying. You can never and you will never change somebody's mind. They are the only ones that can change their mind. You have to give them a reason to. Like I said, semantics. It's the way I'm wording it. But think about what I'm saying. If someone tries to beat it into my head, this, one of two things are going to happen. You're going to ignore them, and they're going to either hopefully go away or whatever, or you're going to finally give in, you're going to cave and go, you know what, fine. I broke under the pressure of it, and I'll just do whatever. Is that genuine? No. It's obviously forced. So you want to change hearts and minds? Start by changing yourself. Be genuine, true to yourself. Don't lie. Try to do what you can to be you. I'm Greg. Obviously, my alter ego is the me machine. But the point being is that you're your own thing, whoever you are. And not everybody can be on camera or good at talking to radio. Like I said, a lot of DJs make it look easy. There's a lot going on, trust me, that you do not see. And it's kind of boring in a way, but it's vital at the same time. So, that being said, do your own thing. Let them change their own mind. You cannot change it for them. It's all in the wording, but it's the truth. Remember I said that. These are my thoughts and feelings on certain subjects. If you're not doing what you love, why are you doing it? Oh, because I have to, because this is my job, and I have to go to work, and I got to get paid, and I got to take care of my family, and I have kids, and I have, child support, or I have, I got to pay, what is that called? My mind just went blank, which happens a lot more than I want it to. You're paying this or that, whatever the case is, or I have student loans, I'm in debt, and I can't even get a job in the area in the what I went to school for. So now I have $80,000 or whatever of student loan debt, and I'm working a job that has nothing to do with what I went to school, which is what I wanted to do, and that's why I went to school for it. You think you're alone? You're not alone. There's a lot of people in the same thing. And that's why last summer, when I would talk to this person or that person on the street, in a different place, in a restaurant, I got people coming up to me, whatever it was, I said, well, what do you want? More movies, more music, more sports? You want me to do the trivia wheel? More? I thought they were going to talk about, no, I want to talk about the Yankees. I want to talk about, Taylor Swift. Please, don't even get me started. That's not what they wanted. This was the younger demographic between the ages of 20 and 29. Like I've said before, I have tattoos older than that. This is what they wanted. They want more serious subjects about real life stuff, some direction, some kind of direction, some kind of parameters in life. Because now this is real life now, They're out there and they're in the workforce and they're trying to go to school and they're trying to pay this off and they're trying to keep their heads up above water, you know what I mean? And it's tough. You can't live with your parents forever. For those that are trying to, do it on their own, kudos to you. I salute you. I know because I've been there, how difficult that was. Now, yeah, things were cheaper and everything back then, but you made less. So it was all relative for the time. What I'm saying is that it's never going to be a time where everything's going to go smooth. You have to make it that way, right? A little help along the way Be great because everybody's bearing down on you. You owe money here and you can't do that. And you're miserable and you don't even want to get out of bed. You're so friggin' depressed and your doctor puts you on Zoloft or whatever it is because you're depressed that you have the job that you have and you're not making enough money. Am I? When I go to a supermarket, we go to ShopRite or wherever we're going, whatever I have to do for the first time that I can remember, I'm looking at the prices and watching what I have on the belt when I check out. I've been fortunate enough in my life. I've worked very hard, but I've also been fortunate where maybe a few times in my life, but I never looked at prices on a menu or not ate out if I wanted to do it or take a small little vacation or whatever, or just regular food shopping. I got to watch every little thing. It's out of control. It really is. When I say out of control, I'm not talking about subtle little, it went from 89 cents to, I'm talking like it went from like $1 to like $8. First of all, why is Hellman's mayonnaise $11? What the fuck? What is there, gold chips in it? What the hell is that? I was bitching and moaning when it was $4.99. Now it's $11. It was $10.99. Why? I know it's good. Why is it $11? Don't tell me that they're having like some kind of, what they say, we're having where you can't get this stuff. It's not coming into the production problems. Get the fungal. There's no bullshit. It's all about, I don't know if we're taking the hits now because these places took the hits when it was COVID. I don't know what the story is with that. Like I said, we don't do politics, religion. I will not talk about it. It's going to be rough not doing it this year. But my God. People are suffering. People that weren't. There's people out there. This poor guy that lives like right across the way from me. He has got to be at least 75, if not older. Nice guy. Really nice guy. I'm always trying to help him. I call him sir because I believe that he deserves that. You've had enough guts to be on this planet for that long. You're going to have all my respect. Sir, can I help you with your bags? Whatever it is, that's the way I was taught. And that's kudos to my mother and father for teaching me to be that way. My brothers, same way. So, I mean, it's crazy. I don't. This guy's still working. He should have been retired and sitting in Cocoa Beach or some shit by now. No, he can't afford to. He put his kids through college. His wife passed. He's a widower now. Whether his wife was alive or not, that's not even the point here. The point is that this guy, I mean, he worked hard his whole life and everything. I know a little bit of his story, whatever. He can't afford to retire yet. He can't do it. He should have probably 10 years ago. He can't do it. We're going to do work till the day you drop dead. Because I got to tell you something, folks. I hate to be negative. That's not what this show is about. I might be right there with you. For those that are feeling that way. Maybe if you don't, well, then good. That's good. I don't wish bad upon you, but my God. Are you kidding me? Someone they should be revered. They should be blessed to the point where they could sit, and you don't have to go down to Florida or anything like that. Just if you're here in Jersey, whatever, just working maybe part-time because they want to, just to get out of the house and stay active or whatever it is. Not because, my God, I can't make rent. I only got $1,800 from my Social Security, whatever, and my rent is this, which is another thing that's out of control. Most of the rent, I don't know about where you live, what part of the country, but here in North Jersey, a lot of the rent, and the places aren't even that big. Some of them are nicer. You can forget about it. It is a decent place. Okay, so let's say you're getting a 2-bedroom. A decent sized place. Doesn't have to be humongous. You don't have to have a fireplace and a balcony and all this shit. I'm talking about just your normal, run-of-the-mill, live comfortably. Maybe you and your husband or you and your wife or whatever. Maybe you have a kid. Maybe you have two. Maybe you don't at all. Maybe your grandmother's with you. You got the cats, the kids, whatever. I'm talking about just a basic family of, let's say, 3 to maybe 4 people where you can live comfortably, not being on top of each other. You're looking at like $2,700, $2,800 a month for rent. That's more than most people's mortgages. And at least they have something that they could refi, or they could get a home equity loan, or you're talking about just rent. You got nothing to show for it. It's like having to start a new mortgage every month, and you're doing that 12 times a year. It is out of control, and it's scary to a lot of people, including me. Yeah, that's right. I have feelings too. And I'm telling you, I feel bad for a lot of people and myself. So I don't know how is it, something's got to break. Something's got to give here. The price of food, the price of rent, everything that's going on. And let me stop a lot of people right then and there. There is not one particular person that you're going to put in the White House or in any government agency that's going to fix all this with like that. It's not going to happen. So that's not always the answer either. It's about the production. It's about the different limitations that companies have. Come on, man. Hellman's mayonnaise is $11. Are you kidding me? I don't know what else to say about that. I know and I don't mean to be depressing or anything like that, but my God, everything's a problem. Gas went down, and then the price of regular stuff went up. So you're robbing Peter to pay Paul. Remember that? That's like an old school term, but you get my drift. How are you supposed to survive like that? How are you supposed to get ahead? Forget about getting ahead. A lot of people are just like paycheck to paycheck and trying to just survive. I've been there. It's not fun. It'll keep you up at night. The stress, the worrying about yourself, about your children, about going to school, about putting clothes on their back and food on the table. And some people have 1 or 2 jobs, and it pissed me off last year. And it was a big time Meme Machine episode. And I remember I got really mad because this one person was making fun of this one kid because he didn't have the newer, I think it was PlayStation or Xbox. I think it was Xbox, whatever it was. I don't recall which gaming thing it was. I don't know why it hit me the way it did. I got really pissed off. They were ganging up in this one particular room online. And I'll tell you this quick story because it pissed me off to the point where this kid, that was all he had. He wasn't a bad kid. He wasn't a jerk. He wasn't asking. He didn't have his hand out this is what his mom was able to get him. It was like a birthday present, Christmas present, whatever it was. I think it might have been a used one. How do you know? And these kids are making fun of him. Oh, you don't have the good stuff. You suck and you're poor and you're on welfare and what? Really? Is that where we're at? Is that the way that you were taught? Because I don't always blame them. I blame their parents or caregivers, whoever didn't teach these people that you should not do that. You don't talk that way to another human being. Walk away if you don't like it. Why are you going to hurt someone just to hurt them? That lady, by the way, was a single mom. Her husband had passed, or I think he left. There was one passed away and another one left. And she's working 2 jobs. She's working a regular job during the day, coming home when she can come home, and then waitressing at some place. I think she was in California. I'm not 100% certain where it was, or Colorado, or one or the other. Regardless, doesn't matter. It was the best she could do for her son, for her birthday. The best she could do, she made sure that kid had a PlayStation. He had gotten a good report card. I found out the story because I asked. He had a good report card, and she couldn't do it for him. And she saved it. She's trying to keep a roof over their head and food on the table, like I said. And she's doing it. And my mom, at one point in time, did that for me. So maybe that's why I snapped. I really got fucking pissed off when I saw these kids doing that to him. Just to hate, just to fuck with them for no other reason. There was nothing they could get out of it. He was trying to just clown with him and joke. I didn't like it. And that's kind of how the Meme Machine was reborn. When you watch some of the videos that I did from like over a year ago on YouTube on our page, the Meme Machine radio show there from season 1, where I was like, you know what? I will defend you. I will do everything that I can. That was the best that lady could do. And she had something for her little kid, and they're making fun of him. How do you think that lady would feel knowing that her son was humiliated like that, or your daughter? I don't like shit like that. And it got me really mad. So it was like not Robin Hood type of thing. And I'm not on a crusade. I'm not the equalizer, although I've always wanted to be. But I just felt that I could use my powers, my reach, the fact that we have thousands of listeners and everything like that. And we're building the video part of it now. Something in me, it wasn't the devil on one side and the angel on the other. It was just something in me said, this is important, Greg. Do something about this. So to make people feel better, to make them know that they're not alone, that they didn't do anything wrong. Not all the time, not everybody. But my God, is that where we're at? I don't know whatever happened with him or whatever. I hope that he got through all that, because that's not what important. The mother did everything she could to have her kid have whichever, and they made fun of him. And I'm sure that stuff happens all the time and all places. And this is probably nothing new. But for me, in that point of time with that particular kid, I sent him money because I wanted to. I don't have a lot of money. It wasn't a lot that I sent. This was a while ago. To me, it was important. As I get a new game, do whatever, and screw those kids. Get out of that room. Go be friends with someone else. Start your own group or whatever it was. And he thanked me. Oh, thank you, sir, and everything. I didn't do it for me. I'll never hear from him again, and I don't need to. In that point in time, I did something nice for someone else, and I hope that it's about paying it forward. I truly, as I get older, I'm thinking about that more and more. Like I said earlier, for those that might not have heard when, we're listening earlier before we went to break, I don't know if I do things like that now. Not that it's not always been inside of me, but it's always been inside of you. It's always been inside of me, and am I making up for things that I did that were bad, and I'm trying to replace every bad act with a good act? I don't know. I honestly can't give you a straight answer on that because I don't know. But I'm not going to delve into it too much. I'm not going to overthink it. I'm just going to go forward and do it. So that I will not, for ratings, for money, to get us monetized and everything like that, I'm not going to record me handing money to someone because I thought that they needed it. I'm not going to record or make public when I give to charity. I gave a ton of stuff over the course of the last few months, right before we just moved. I gave a ton of stuff to Goodwill, different townships or whatever, because I wanted to. It was just stuff. It was stuff that I wanted at some point in time, but it was stuff that I knew that people needed. I didn't need it anymore. They needed it. If I approach life like that and other things, I can be better too. Not just a better Christian, but just a better person in general, regardless of your faith, regardless of your politics. You think God's going to care if you're red or blue? When you get hit by a bus and you're up by the pearly gates and St. Peter's just sitting there tapping the pencil, or maybe they're tapping a ruler. I don't know. Do you really? I'm being funny, but there's a little bit of levity in there. I didn't want it to get too hot and heavy and people go, oh my God, they're going to start drinking and shit. That's not what I want. I'm just telling you the different things that go through my mind. And this happens every time we don't have a guest. Whenever I air something that we have no guest, I kind of go off on tangents. But I was so pissed for that one kid that I decided that I wanted to help people even more and use my platform. He doesn't talk or have people, over 200,000 people listening to him. I do. So I used it for something good. And it made me feel good to do it. And maybe, I don't want him to do anything for me. I want him, that little kid that I helped, I want him to do it for someone else. That's paying it forward. That's being a human being. That's why I will not record doing stuff like that. Or when they say, oh, we could do it as a tax write-off and everything, I won't accept it. That's not why I did it. That is not what motivates me to do it. Okay? And that's just the way I see it. Alexa, be quiet. Friggin' Alexa, man. Alexa, be quiet. Damn. Sorry, that's Alexa. Short little, chubby little ball. She's nice, I guess. I got to tell her everything several times before she does it. Like every other woman in my life. Nobody listens. Anyway, we're going to go to break and we're going to wrap it up when I get back because it's Sunday and people want to watch football and stuff. Anyway, I appreciate you listening because there comes a time we have to draw a line in the sand. And you can say, well, you're not going to change anyone. It's all about hearts and minds. That was the whole, subject of today. You're not going to change anyone's mind with anything. Only they can do that. You have to give them a reason too. So you're not actually doing the changing. They are. Look, going in if something's right or something's wrong, right? Why not go for the good stuff? If you want to say, well, I want to make up for bad things, like I said earlier, fine. But it sticks in my mind that the older gentleman that I gave money to, and I said, are you going to be okay? And he looked at me, and I'll never forget it, like I said earlier, and he said, I don't know. Because I hope so. And then I found out that he died. It bothered me. I never knew the guy. I knew I didn't want to feel like that ever again. I did what I could, and it wasn't enough. So don't look back constantly, because if you look back constantly, you can't see where you're going. You can't do anything about what happened before. You can do something about it now. So do that. You'll be a better person for it. But more than just being a better person, it feels good. I'm not saying you got to go. Not everybody can afford to give to charity and do this and that and give to the ASPCA and do that. I'm not saying that. Why do I want to be? We're monetized on several things. And when I get out of the red, more than 50% of everything that we bring in for the subscribers and the people that are watching on YouTube, it helps us we're close too. I think we're like 50 something watch hours away from being monetized on it. That's going to charity. I've been blessed. I've had a tough life, as many of you have as well. But I don't look back on it as I'm angry. I was. I don't think of it that way. I'm lucky. Every day above ground is a good day. Well, it's going to be a beautiful day tomorrow morning. And God willing, you and I are all going to wake up and see that. But there's going to be a lot of people that do not and won't see it. Now, do you feel lucky? If you keep it that simple, you're always looking out here, looking over here or there for the answer, or what should I do? Sometimes it's right there under your nose. Sometimes it's right staring you right in the face and you don't even realize it. Because I truly want to believe that deep down, maybe it's more topical on others, but deep down, all people can be good. And if you want to just say hello to an older person or help a lady grab stuff at the supermarket, I always do. I'm 6'2", so I'm constantly being asked, can you get that for me or whatever, and the shit's falling on their head and everything. I do that without even being asked, and I'm polite. And I'm in a crappy mood sometimes too. I'm a cranky son of a bitch sometimes. But keep in mind that we're all in this together. So whether you're, like I said earlier, whether you're red or blue, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, whether you're conservative or liberal, whether you're Catholic, whether you're Jewish, whether you're this or that, in the end, we're all human beings and we're all here together at this point in time. So the way I want to roll is I have a platform for people that have not been seen but want to be heard. So if you want to come on the show, you think you have some value, you want to listen, because I want to have someone that comes on to talk about diabetes. I want somebody to help people, I should say. And also, I'd like to have, I have someone that I'm talking about that works with people that have been victims of domestic violence. I believe that that's an important subject that needs to be broached. They're not all easy subjects to tackle. Alcoholism, drug addiction, spousal abuse, elderly abuse, just there's so many things, and it's not negative. It's about helping people to get through that kind of stuff. I don't need to say that I was an alcoholic at one point, so I can't help you because I've never was an alcoholic. It doesn't matter. It's the fact that a kind word and listening to someone's story, letting them be heard so they could get it off their chest in a platform. I'm giving them a platform to do that because I'm not a selfish man, and I've struggled most of my life. And every time I have an extra dollar, I'm not thinking of myself. I'm thinking of my kids. I'm thinking of family. I'm thinking of others. That's the way I was built. The Mean Machine is a moniker. It's a doppelganger. It's my alter ego. But who I really am as Gregory Joseph is just the same. I'm not any better than you because I'm on a show or I do this or I do that. I am the same as you. And once people realize that you can't always do everything on your own, sometimes you need a little help getting to where you got to go. And that's where I come in. I connect people like that. It's not the most original idea, but it's just not an idea. It's a way of life. So, yeah, we could laugh and we could be sarcastic, like I said earlier, and we can, I'm going to post funny shit and stuff like that. Yes, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. You know what I mean? Or at Gregory Joseph 70 is our Twitter handle, and Mean Machine 973 at outlook.com. I got a bunch of weird emails. I'm going to read a couple of them when we come back, and this will be our last break. And then we're going to wrap it up. But there's a few of them. We used to do emails from females. I still do that, but it's very flattering. And, yes, do I get this person and they're flirting with me and hitting me. Yes, I do get that. And that's very sweet and nice and everything like that. But I'm a professional. So if I tap somebody to say, hey, I'd like you to be on the show, or I find you interesting, I'd like to talk to you, or whether it's a DM through Twitter, whether it's an email, whether it's whatever platform it is, it's because I'm the real deal. And I'm looking to see. That's not for everybody, but sometimes people go, you know what? Maybe not me, but my friend, my sister, this is to reiterate what I said earlier. They would love to be on your show and talk about what happened to them, personal experiences, stuff that they've done, stuff that they're doing, stuff that, yes, that's what I want. That's where I want the show to go to. I'm just the host. It's where you guys want it to be. And I feel that that would give probative value. It would help a lot of people. And it's fun sometimes. It's not all serious stuff. We can talk about funny stuff too and everything. It's all about levity. It's all about camaraderie and collaborating. I love that kind of stuff. And I'm glad and I'm blessed and I'm lucky to have so many people listening to me on WGAT here in Jersey. If you don't have satellite radio, you have YouTube, Mean Machine Radio Show. You have Spotify. You have iHeartRadio. Amazon. I mean, it's, and we're growing in leaps and bounds. So thank you to our new subscribers, people that subscribe. While it's still free on YouTube, thank you so much. Same thing with iHeart and Spotify and all that kind of stuff. Drop us a line, meanmachine973@outlook.com. Tell me what's on your mind. What's going on? What do you want to hear on the next show? What kind of host do you want? Do you want to be a co-host one day? I'm open to a lot of things. It's a new year with a bright outlook. And in the immortal words of Jerry Springer, my favorite part wasn't the arguments and the bleeping and the fights and everything. Those were cool. But at the end of every show, remember what Jerry Springer used to say? He used to say, take care of yourself and each other. Remember, he used to end each show with that? I kind of like that. I did. I do. All right. So I'm going to wrap it up. We're going to take one more quick break. I'm going to wrap it up. You could always type in the chat if you want. Some people have. It's not that I'm ignoring you. It's just that when I'm in the middle of anecdotes, sometimes that happens. All right. You're listening to WGAT, New Jersey 88.6 on Sunday, January 21st, 2024, the Mean Machine Radio Show. Glad you're here. We'll be right back. All right, we're back from commercial break now. Just wanted to wrap things up and thank you. We got a lot of people piled in near the end, but we're near the end here, people. So we wanted to have it go for a couple hours. We want to let you know, though, before I read a couple of these quick emails from females thing that I appreciate it because everybody that if you haven't subscribed, that's okay. Whether it's Twitter, whether it's YouTube, whether it's on Spotify, whether it's on iHeart, you can follow us on everything. Twitter, it's at Gregory Joseph 70. I am Gregory Joseph. This is the Mean Machine Radio Show, and I'm going without the sunglasses now because this is really me. So even though I'm cool with or without it, chicks dig me anyway. So it's it's of paramount importance to me that people understand that there's various topics. So don't feel that if you, let's say you drop us a line, meanmachine973 at outlook.com, or you are local and you're in the New York, New Jersey area, and you're able to listen on WGAT and everything. We're a small satellite radio show. We are trying to get bigger. We could only do that no matter what I do, and I bring in the jingles, and we're going to have co-hosts, and we're going to, all these things are in the works. It takes time because I like to do it properly. I'm not looking to make a big splash, although that's very nice, and I've done that before. And I have to tell you, I'm not trying to chase who I used to be when I was a DJ, when I was on the air, or before there was streaming and all this other kind of thing. Sometimes I get caught up in that. And I know probably some of you that do podcasts, let's say, it's not really a podcast what I do. Sometimes it's classified that way, but I can't chase what I used to be. It's like this. I'll give you a sports analogy. It's like I've won a Super Bowl already when I was in my prime, when I was younger. So am I going to try to win another one or two or whatever prior to retiring? Yeah, I would love to. Is that what motivates me? Kind of. But if I don't, it's not a failure. It's not a crash and burn type of thing, because I still have that under my belt. I do what I do because, like I said before, it's a labor of love. If it's a big project, you want to look at it that way, then it's a passion project. It's something that I'm in my element. This is what I do. This is what I was trained to do. And I want real people on talking about real life stuff. Not just movies, music, sports. We could be funny, we could be sarcastic, everything, like I mentioned this earlier. But the things that I do, and I draw a lot of people, it's to push traffic to our YouTube channel and everything. And I told you, we're very close to being monetized on there. So the more you watch, the better it is for us. When I say us, I mean just not us. I mean for everybody, because that, once we are, is going to charity. So you're doing a good thing. If you could get value out of it, if you could watch somebody else's personal turmoil and everything and try to see how that maybe relates to your life, stuff that's happened to you, great. You're helping somebody, or you're listening, or maybe hearing somebody else's story or advice or what they actually went through. Maybe it's not exactly what happened to you, or God forbid, some of these things are really bad when we talk about domestic violence and people with addiction or mental health issues or whatever the case may be. I'm not a doctor. I'm giving a platform for those that came in late and didn't hear this, for people that have not been seen before, but that need to be heard. I have the platform. I have the listeners. So, like, for example, right now, there's only like 30 something people in the lobby, and I think there's 40. What's the other one? There's 32 in one, and there's 48 in the other. But the listeners right now that's coming in through satellite, you don't see that. I do. And we're a little over 67,000 people at one point listened, at one point tuned in. That's pretty impressive, because we're small, but we're getting bigger. And the reason I use that sports analogy is I would love to get there, but I can't do it without you guys. So the more you listen, and yeah, you subscribe and everything, it's going for something good. The Meme Machine is the name of the show. Once again, it's my alter ego, but I use it for good, not evil. I use it to help people. The Meme Machine's got your back. That's the whole point. Whether you know it or not, whether you think you need it or not, and helping people through other things with my own advice of the guests that we have, hosts, different people typing in the chat or calling in when we have that link up, because we just moved my home studio, everything. We just moved about a week or so ago. That's all going to be set up. It's going to be a good year for a lot of people, not just us, but all of you too. And I'm glad that you want to be part of it. And if you're not yet, what is the matter with you? I'm kidding. So please come along for the ride. It's going to be fun. It's going to help people. It's going to make you feel good. It's going to make me feel good that you feel good. Does that make some sense out there? Because I want it to. Because at the end of the day, we're all human beings, and we're all trying to get to the same place. That's the promised land. And yeah, you see the thing up there. It's about fungal. It's Italian for having a nice day, because we can laugh at ourselves, at each other, at things that are happening. We could commiserate about it. We could laugh about, whatever. And, oh, this happened to this person. This happened to Tom, or this happened to Jane, or, this is what I would do, or this is what I have done. And I've heard about this. And you're collaborating with people. You're meeting people that you would never even see on the street, right? You would never know these people if you walked right by them. So I'm giving you the opportunity. There's a lot of podcasts, and there's people that broadcast like I do out there. There's a lot of that. Some people that do great, some people that haven't, some people that quit every day because it's difficult, and it is. Okay. It's not just the money part. It is difficult. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that you just don't know. You got to love what you're doing. So the fact that I'm willing to get to the promised land my own way, in a real way, I'm cut from a specific cloth that is resilience. Look, I pray. You want to know what I pray for? I pray for things for other people, because I feel that not only will you get what you need by doing that, but it's full circle. So if they're doing that and you're praying for this one, and and whether you're religious or not, I'm not, I'm just saying, but that's something I ask for, vision, wisdom, strength, endurance, patience, and compassion. And I'm not scripted. I'm not looking at anything when I tell you this. So I'll go like this. Okay. Wisdom, vision, strength, endurance, patience, compassion. Okay. It's not just that I remind myself of it or that I memorize it. It's how I truly feel. Thank you for my family and my friends, and for the new people that I've met. There's a lot of good people out in the world. I know it's hard, and you lose sight of that because so many people can be shitty to you on every day, and nobody uses their fucking directionals and shit. I get it. And, it's not just about holding the door open for somebody. It's about that thought that goes into your mind that you should do that you want to do that. That's what I'm talking about. It's not always the physical act. It's the thought that it's either there or it's not there, So I've said this before, and I'll say it again. There is a lot of good people in this world. If you can't find one, be one. Don't get mad. Get mean, but in a good way. Do you know how to do that? Because that's the key to my life. That's the mean machine life right there. One quick email from Carol where is she? She's in Tennessee. Carol from Tennessee, talking to this Jersey guy, this skinny guinea. That's me. And she said, hi, mean machine, or should I say Gregory? Yeah, you could, Greg is fine. You call me Gregory. Only my mom calls me that, but that's fine. Because I've was told, I saw you, I follow you. Actually, it says I follow you on Twitter, on X. She has a parentheses. And you post a lot of funny stuff, but sometimes I get confused. I'm reading this. I'm not paraphrasing. I'm reading it right from the email. I have it up on one of my laptops here. And it says, I get confused. Is it a funny show? Is it supposed to be that? Because sometimes you act like a rock star. You know what I mean? Which you are. She says in parentheses, oh, that's very flattering. Thank you. I'm not, but she says, and then other times you kind of change. It's like a Jekyll and Hyde thing where you're just being very sincere and nice to people and trying to help them. I'm not sure which one that you really are, but I like both. Keep up the good work. And my sister has also subscribed and think you're cute. That's very nice. Yeah, so even you get the meme machine to blush a little bit. And I get stuff like that all the time. It's signed Carol from Tennessee. Well, thank you, Carol. Those are very kind words. She I'm not sure if it was a statement or a question. That one stood out to me, and I have a lot. I can't get to everything because we're out of time, but the answer to which one am I? Both. I am sincere. I am trying to help people. I do it for, I would be lying, like I said, and I will not do that to my audience. I will never lie to you. I just don't do that. Life is too short for that. You know what I mean? So if I say that I would have someone that's helping someone else, and are you doing that for ratings, or do you really want to help them? I do want to help them. I do want to give people a voice that they can't do their own show, or they don't know how to do that, and that's not their thing, and they just want to come on now and then, or maybe just once, or they know somebody that it would bring some value to them or whatever. So Do I want to help them? Yeah, of course I do. And meet new people and everything. Um, will you get good ratings because of that? Like, will it grow? Well, of course. So, yeah, I do it, and we will get good ratings, and we will have a wider audience, but it's still the truth. It's still why I've changed as I've gotten a bit older. I decided it's not all about me and how I can screw that guy. It's do or die. It's dog eat dog. Yeah, okay. It's cutthroat, just like any other business and any other thing in this country or anywhere else. But if I could laugh and be sarcastic and make fun of me and loosen people, like break down those barriers a little bit. I'm not Dr. Phil here. I'm who I am. I don't pretend to be anyone else. And I decided that, like I said, one day something just clicked. And I said, now that I'm getting a second chance to DJ again, to broadcast again, to have my FCC license renewed, to be on satellite radio, because that's where it's at now, and possibly be syndicated. Of course, I would love to do that. You know, I told this one girl that I was trying to help or whatever. I said, you got to make a decision of what you want to do. You want to do this? You want to go to broadcasting school like I did? You want to do all these different things? Do you want to fit in or do you want to stick out? You have to make that decision because I can't help anyone get ready. I will help them when they are. And I've told this one girl that, and I get emails like that. A lot of them aren't just like flirty ones. Sometimes there's guys, you know what I mean? Also, it's guys, girls, it's male and female. How would you do this? Or I really enjoyed that. And I appreciate that because you're reaching out, you're connecting on a human level. It doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. It doesn't matter what God you pray to. It matters that we're all in this together. Once you understand and realize that that's not a bad thing, that it's not a compromise, it's a blessing. And if you have a gift, I believe that I do. I've always had the gift of gab. I've never been afraid of a mic or a video or anything like that. If I could use that in a positive way to not make it all about me, to make it so that, yeah, I'll have a vast audience and I have more than 100,000 listeners. We did that in a very short period of time. I'm very proud of the work that I put into it. And there's other people that are to thank, and family and friends and that kind of thing. And the viewers that will have new ones next week that we didn't have this week. Or they saw something that I made a video a few years ago, something to remember. I'm on the air quite often, but you don't see because we don't stream all of them. And there's other DJs there too. I'm not the only one, but there's only one Meme Machine, and that's me. So I'll get into more of that next time we do something. We're going to have hopefully a co-host and an interviewee and next time we go on. I don't know when that'll be, but if you follow us on Twitter, on X, which I'll put the thing up right now, it is at Gregory Joseph 70. It used to be Meme Machine 973. But after my birthday, it was near the end of October there, I put who I really am on there. Not that I was hiding it before, but I just felt that I could connect to more people. They're like, oh, that's a cool name and everything. And yeah, how did you get that nickname and all that? But I wanted them to know that there is a real person on this side of the microphone. I'm no better than you. I'm just different. I have a gift. And what you do with that, your gift that you get from God, the best way to pay that back is to use it in a positive way. Don't let it go on the wayside. If you do, and everybody, and I mean everybody, has one thing, at least one thing that they can do that not only do they love doing, but that they're good at. That's your gift. If you haven't determined what that is yet, you will. It's never too late. You see it right there. Follow us on Twitter. You could DM us. That's direct message. That's fine. If you want to be on the show, if you have ideas for it, if you have some input, any kind of, I'll take notes on it, that kind of thing. If you want to support us, we'll put that up there right there, Cash App or Venmo. It's Meme Machine 973. 973, by the way, is our area code. We're here in North Jersey here. We're in Soprano Land, I told you. Okay, we're also on Instagram. We're on TikTok. You got all of them on there. I use that to meet different people. Some people are just part of certain platforms and not other ones. Do I spend the most of my time? It's probably on Twitter that I spend most of my time. It's easier. You can do it while you're in the bathroom, that kind of thing. So you got that. You got Twitch. We're already monetized on there and everything. But I'll tell you what, it's about meeting new people and driving it to have them listen to us on iHeartRadio or on Spotify, watching us on YouTube. Some people like to watch and listen. And then, of course, if you're just driving or whatever you want to listen, you go on the Spotify one. So that's fine. But getting us through Twitter or X, if you don't have it, obviously you'll have to pick a different venue, a different platform. But that's the one that I'm on the most. And I've met a lot of nice people, a lot. Got a lot of followers out of it, some subscribers. You know, people are always coming out of the woodwork. You know, they've always been there. For those that do something similar that I do, okay? They've always been there. It's all about them finding you. It's like, over here, please. This is us, and this is what we're doing. You have somebody that you want to be on the show, or even yourself. You don't have to be some kind of superstar or great on camera or anything like that. I'll walk you through it. It'll be genuine. It'll be real. I'm unscripted because I don't feel that if you're scripted, I feel that you're going to sound scripted. So I don't. We go over what we might talk about, what we can and cannot say, that kind of thing, because we're on the air. And to be able to get the most viewers, I have to, that's why you don't hear me cursing and everything like I enjoy doing. But it would hold us back, and I don't want to hurt anyone or stop anyone, limit them from being able to find us and say, you know what, this is different. I like being different. I had a sign on my desk for years that said, people laugh because I'm different. And I laugh at them because they're all the same. I'll leave it with that thought. But remember, you're not going to change hearts and minds. You have to be you. And then if they want to change how they are, that's how it works. You're not going to change anyone. Stop wasting your energy and your time. It's precious. Worry about you. And the other stuff will come because they'll be genuine. There's no bullshit about it. It's all about going forward. Look forward. Don't look back. And remember, don't get mad. Get mean. You listened to, I believe it was episode 5 of the Bean Machine Radio Show live, New Jersey 88.6 WGAT. Stay warm out there. It's like Planet Hoth out there. I already said it earlier. It's cold, baby. It's real cold. Take care of yourself and each other. We'll see you again soon. Good night.